You know, would you say, like, as far as, and it sounded like you answered a lot of it anyway, but like as far as like historic traditions, you know, practiced currently, would you say they're still pretty prevalent?
I would say a lot. Several things are still, the ceremonies are still happening. Like when I went home, we see stick game being played. I happen to think, I used to be on the board of American Indian Child Resource Center for about 8 years, and that's it's in Oakland, and also it has a office here in Sacramento. But one thing that's really, I think, changing within our family communities is the need. There's a lot more children going into foster care, which is really sad, and not enough foster care families that are native. And it used to be that, you know, that wasn't as huge of a problem, but with a lot of the drugs and alcohol, but also heavy-duty drugs that, you know, that are coming in, like meth, is a really big problem on reservations. And people don't think about meth and heavy-duty things like that being out in this rural area.
Right.
But when I can drive by and look over at my cousin's house that used to look pretty nice, and here it's boarded up, windows are boarded up and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, okay, guess they've gone into meth and stuff. You know, that's really a heavy-duty topic, because it adds to a lot of that with what they, you know, people have historically learned through the boarding school, is that, you know, if something goes wrong, you're supposed to hit and stuff like that. Those type of activities lead to higher rates of spousal abuse, to higher rates of abusing children, and then all of a sudden, you know, and also if people are into drugs and alcohol, you know, also higher rates of suicide. I mean, I lost a cousin of mine, little cousin, who was, you know, just in her late teens, hung herself outside my sister's house. And, you know, just a couple years ago, another cousin of mine, a first cousin, he hung himself in the garage in a shed, you know. And so when you go to the graveyards, too, we're seeing our young people who, oh my gosh, my cousin that was, you know, he, years ago, when he passed, he was a Chico State student, really good-looking young man, smart and charismatic, and people on the outside would say he had everything going for him. But he was so sad from the loss of his mother, and the way he ended up dealing with it was not really good ways, you know.
Right.
So, and it was really hard to watch that. And then the other one, you know, you see, and she's younger, but she's grown up in, you know, that she grew up in seeing things that no young person should. And so meth, drugs, alcohol has been really a problem.